Hey everyone, it's Erica. Welcome back to my channel. It has been a minute. It really has. Today is Saturday and I am so glad it is. This week was pretty busy, I must say. So I'm glad I get to relax and have a quick chat with you guys. So about a year ago, I made a video about my experience getting a master's degree at USC. I got my master's of public health, and if you haven't seen that video, you can check it out here. So ever since I published that video, I've been getting a lot of questions about my experience at USC, things that I didn't cover completely in detail. So that's what prompted me to making this video. I think it'll be really helpful for people who are interested in getting an MPH. I feel like in my previous video, it was a very USC specific video. So if you're more interested in that, check that video out. But I think this video will be covering getting a master's degree in public health in a more broad sense. And I'll be talking a little bit about how my life's changed or my opinions on the field and certain topics. So a brief recap for people who don't really know me. I went to USC. I graduated in August, so almost a year ago, and I've been working in the public health field ever since. About my notebook with my questions. So all these questions came from people commenting, emails, and just general things that I think would be interesting to know. If you have any further questions, just let me know. I'll get back to you. So the first question is, how did you finance your degree? I got this question quite a lot. Well, it makes sense because, damn, it's expensive. And USC is not known for being the most cost-friendly school. So the answer is I took out loans, okay? So I took out $82,500 for 2 years. Because of the pandemic, the government has paused student loan repayment and they paused all interest too. So I've just been paying back my loans really hard this past year since I got a full-time job and paying them off the principal balance and not the interest because I don't have any interest yet. That'll end in June, I think, unless a miracle happens. So we'll see where that goes. But while I was at USC, I knew I had all these loans that I had to pay back eventually. Started paying back my loans early. Some people ask me if they can continue to work part-time, and that's totally possible. You just gotta balance your schedule correctly. I worked part-time. I worked 20 hours part-time, as well as doing research and attending classes as a full-time student. It's definitely doable. Just requires a bit of time management. Some people ask me if you could work full-time. It would be a little difficult to work full-time. I'm not sure, unless you have a really cool employer that lets you just take time off to go to class, study for finals. On the online program, that whole program was built for people like that, for working professionals. All the classes started at 6, 7, 5 the earliest. It was definitely intended for people to go to class right after their full-time job. And I even heard that some employers actually pay for you to go to college. Depends on the company you work for, so maybe ask your supervisor or HR, see if you guys have that kind of deal. Because if you do, take it. So the next question is, what are your thoughts on specializing in epidemiology? So yeah, as I said in my previous video, I picked the epidemiology and biostatistics concentration. There were 5 concentrations at USC. They were community health, global health, epi and biostats like I did, general public health, and health services and policy. So I'm going to tell you right now, the epi and biostats route will get you a career that makes more money. That might not be 100% true, okay? But that's what everyone was saying back in college. So that was the route that I decided to take. Unless you're really set on being a social worker or a community health specialist, people who take the epi route and get the specific epi training can do a bunch of epi jobs, biostats jobs, a lot of really profitable paths. But if they decide that they want to go to community health route or they want to go to global health, they can easily just switch out because they still have a master's of public health. But if you start out with a global health degree, it'll be really hard for you to switch into an epidemiology kind of job. The curriculum for the epi and biostats concentration is very specific. It requires a lot more math. The other concentrations can't really do what we do, but we can do what they do as well. Okay, so this next question is it hard to make friends in grad school? I love this question because I was also thinking the exact same thing. That's one of the reasons why I switched from online to in person, because I really wanted to make more friends. It was the pandemic. I was lonely. and I'm still trying to figure out how to make friends as an adult. And I was really excited for this opportunity to kind of like just go back to that college world where everyone's down to hang out all the time. But yeah, sorry to burst your bubble, but grad school's a little different. You do have group projects, and everyone I met were really nice. None of them were like really stuck up or mean or unwilling to help you out. It was a different vibe in undergrad. I think that's because most of the people in grad school were like later 20s, like 27, 28. We even had some 30s, 31, 32s. I was the youngest one there. So from what I noticed, most people like commuted. They had a part-time job or a full-time job. Some of the older ones would have families. Basically, people had like a lot of responsibilities to take care of, so that made them not as social. But that's not because they didn't want to be. They were still really nice and friendly. It was more because they had like other things to do. I feel like back in like undergrad, none of us really knew how to prioritize anything. If it was between hanging out with my friends and studying, I'd be hanging out with my friends. But in grad school, people are a little older, so they've learned how to prioritize. Oh yeah, it was a different vibe. It wasn't a bad vibe. I really enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun there, and I still made some really good friends. So what I would recommend if you're like trying to socialize and make friends, because friends are important. Not just for socializing, but also for networking. You never know, one of them can like pull a connection and get you a job on the first or second day of class. See if anybody wants to join your study group. Give me your number and we'll start a study group. So that's how it starts basically. The next question is a question about whether or not the program made me feel supported in finding a job after. I feel like low-key, USC kind of owns the whole city of Los Angeles. Like, they got clinics everywhere, they got different type of businesses going around, they're investing everywhere. I think that's one of the good parts about going to USC, because they got that connection, and people are more likely to hire you if they find out you're from USC. So yeah, USC really did make me feel supported. They offered a lot of career counseling, and it was like up to you whether or not you wanted to take it. They had office hours you could go to talk to a counselor about just about anything really, career related, academic related. And every week they sent out like a really big email with a whole bunch of job opportunities in the LA area. That was really useful because I used it to find my part-time job, my practicum, which is this like unpaid internship you have to do, or like 70 something hours. And I also found like another internship through there. Like I said, they would just send out like a list of these jobs in the area, and all you had to do was apply to them. You don't have to apply to any job site most of the time. They just give you the direct email of the hiring manager or the person in charge of the research lab, and you just message them, send them your resume, tell them you're interested. Though it's been almost a year since I graduated, I still get that email. So yeah, I'm sure it's different for every school, but I guess this is more of a USC specific question. But USC did do a good job in that aspect. This next question is a bit of a juicy question. It's about money. Yes, the thing we all want. What are your salary and job options like after you graduate with an MPH? Hate to break it to you, but it's not high. It's not high at all, guys. I'm not saying you won't make any money through public health. It's definitely possible. And I think some people do make six figures in public health. But just so you know, it's not the norm. If you're starting out, okay, let's just take me for example. So I didn't have that much experience. I went straight from undergrad to grad school. I didn't have that much job experience. I didn't have that much life experience, honestly. And when I left USC, I totally expected to be making like a starting salary of at least $75,000 because of how much money I put into that program. I expected to be making around roughly that much as starting pay. No, that's actually kind of rare. I'm not saying those kind of jobs don't exist out there. Maybe they do. I don't know. I haven't seen one yet, and I've been job hunting. I really had to like reevaluate my expectations a little bit. And if you're thinking about going to the public health field to make bank, I'm sorry. Go into engineering. Go into computer science. Go be a doctor. Just this is not the place for fast cash, you know. This is the place for a comfortable lifestyle. You still make, let me see. It says here on Google, the average master's of public health salary really depends on your specialization. An MPH can help you become a health educator earning $45,000, an epidemiologist earning $63,000, or an infection control specialist earning $76,000. Yeah, being an epi, going back to the previous question, being an epi or biostats major, concentration, whatever, is definitely a more profitable route to go. But of course, that's like all up to you and what you want out of life. Personally, I've seen entry-level jobs from between $55,000 to like $65,000. So that's the range you're going to be working with. And it's important to understand that before taking on an enormous amount of debt, or unless you like have a ton of experience to back you up, that might bring up the range a bit. But yeah, 6 figures, not here, not easily here in public health. But just like as I grow up, I guess, as I go through adulthood, this is only like my first year working full time. This is like my second year of doing taxes ever. So I'm still kind of young. Starting to fully understand how important money is to my own happiness. I know it shouldn't be this way, but it limits how successful I feel. If I make a lot, I feel quite successful. If I don't make a lot, I suddenly feel like getting a master's of public health isn't worth it. Yeah, all that thinking really got me questioning whether or not like this was the right path to take. I'm starting to realize that maybe I was like just too young and too like dumb, too young and dumb to have gone back to grad school. Okay, I'm going to make this the last question. So this question was asked by someone who commented on one of my YouTube videos. It kind of threw me into a bit of a downward spiral, an existential crisis, not gonna lie, because shit. The question was, has it paid off? Has this degree paid off? Here I am, a year later, having a master's degree. You can actually see my master's degree, my diploma in the background right there. Yeah, there it is. Has that paid off? Bro, financially, no. It hasn't paid off yet, but I'm working on my student loan debt, you know. I'm chipping away at it. Other than the financial side, I think I have a hard time answering this question, and I'm not going to be able to give you guys a straight answer, unfortunately. My views toward public health is really affected by my current job. I currently work at the LA County Department of Public Health, so it's literally a job in my field that I studied for. Yeah, it's a job that specifically requires an MPH, a job that I had studied for, and I don't like it. It is definitely not a job that I can imagine myself staying in for another year. I'm almost at my year's anniversary at this job, and after that, I think I'm gonna try to find somewhere else to go to. I still consider myself lucky to have this job because it's a hybrid schedule. I get to work remote sometimes. Everyone's like really nice to me. It's just like the work itself is really boring. The job is really like boring, kind of repetitive, and it's just not really creative. It's very like detail oriented, and I don't really like that. I rather work with like big ideas, pictures, opportunities to like take the lead and be more creative in what I do every day. Unfortunately, me not liking my current job is really making me regret going into the public health field. But what I keep telling myself is to not dwell on those regrets and keep moving forward in life. And what gives me a lot of hope is that public health is such a broad field. There's so many different jobs that could provide me with the job satisfaction I'm looking for. It doesn't have to be like the specific job that I have right now. Other jobs could be really rewarding and provide me with work that I really like to do or can learn to like to do. There will be a place for me There'll be a place for you, and money will come in time. Job satisfaction will come in time. We just require a bit of patience. I'm just talking to myself. So yeah, that's where I am right now. It's not really a straight answer to if it was worth it or not. I think I need a couple more years to really unravel and see, I guess, the fruit of my labor. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for watching. If you also subscribe to me here, you can also follow me on Instagram, so you can see more of me, because I'm just that interesting. That was a bad joke, sorry. So with that, I'm gonna go off and enjoy my Saturday, and I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day as well. Bye! See you next time.